Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your channel message, where we will identify current energies at work in your life. And we will begin with some oracle cards. Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So you're doing everything like in order, and you're successful at it. So for one, good job. You've let go of the things that were holding you back. It's almost like the toxicity, any attachments. You've really gotten a hold of it, and in the process, you've released past life strings, cords, relationship patterns. You're doing all that. You've done it. And you're ready to start your life. You know, it's almost like you've been living for others, or this has really been a lifetime where you've been healing, so that you can have the best life you possibly can. Next we have the message: positive news, positive outcome. And I think that's what you've been waiting for a long time. You know, and it's a feeling like, can't anything go right? You know, don't I deserve love? Don't I deserve success? And you've had to finally trust, get into a state of trust, faith, knowing in divine timing. That's been the hardest thing. Just trusting in divine timing, not always having to be in the state of doing something, feeling like you have to be active all the time. And yes, you do have to take action to an extent, but divine timing has to play a part. And that's been one of the hardest things, is just waiting. Okay? First you have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. Okay? Maybe even comparing relationships, saying that there was a track record in the relationships that you had. Maybe you were always cheated on. Maybe you were in volatile relationships, and it was like you had to take a time out and figure out, what is it that I needed from those relationships to learn. And you learned your true value. Okay? This is accepting your role in those relationships, taking control. Okay? It could also be looking at the friendships that you maintained in the past. Finding new hope for the future, taking the opportunity to learn from the situations that you went through, to see how strong that you've grown, to see that you're going to apply the skills that you've gained in the future, because you can see patterns before that. You can see patterns as they start. You know, when you go, you can see these people. Say if you go on a date, you're going to notice patterns. You will not repeat the same patterns that you've had in the past. Okay, so don't be fearful of that. You have Seven of Cups next, and this is decisions, choices, having options, and taking a new path. Okay, because in the past you may have lived by a rule book, saying, I need to do this with my life, I need to make this amount of money, I need to have this kind of relationship, the person needs to look like this, or the person needs to make at least this much. And so you may have had a plan, and it was very organized. But it may be a case of throwing that out the window and allowing for the universe to give you the internal qualities in someone who you may not have guessed. So knowing that honesty is more important than, let's say, blonde hair or brown hair or black hair, whatever you had usually went for on the external, knowing that the qualities on the inside are more important. Okay? Next we have the Death card. So Death card is all about endings, acceptance, again, for the things that you've been through, giving yourself compassion for being such the strong person that you had to be to get through all of those hurts and heartaches, making any adjustments that you feel need to be made, change, transition, rebirth, and renewal, being this wise person that you have become, knowing that you are not that same person who made those decisions in the past. And notice I didn't say mistakes, because they are not mistakes. You made those decisions so that you could gain the skills that you have today. And the first card is releasing soul patterns and contracts from past lives, okay? So that you can be a different person in this life. Next, you have the King of Swords, okay? King of Swords is someone who's intelligent, very logical, and fair. Can be seen as a warrior, okay? So you're encouraged to realize that you have become this fair. It's not that you're just fair, because you already are a fair person. But seeing that you don't always have to lead with your emotions, you don't have to fall into drama, you don't have to lead with anger or aggression. You can step back when you're met with those kind of energies and be fair with your assessment. See how, so if someone approaches you with that energy, you can say, it allows you to see their side of it. Like, how may they feel in this situation? What's the logical approach? How should I handle this? You are the judge, jury in that instance, and you're so much wiser than you used to be. Instead of laying over backwards and just letting the other person have the upper hand just to avoid an argument, you are now allowed to step up for yourself. And it's not that someone is allowing you to do that. You are allowing yourself to be that warrior, to be the strategist, to be the lawmaker in how people are allowed to treat you. You're standing up for how you feel you should be treated. And that's a wonderful, beautiful thing. So next you have a High Priestess. This is wisdom, okay? As I've been saying, wisdom, intuition, secrets, hidden knowledge, unseen influences. So you can detect these things as you move forward in your life. You can detect these things in people you meet, whether they're romantic, whether they're family members, whether they're just people crossing the street or asking you for, change. You can detect these things. You are upgrading your skills, okay? And again, that's because you've been able to heal. You've been able to go through all of these hard things and gain these skills, which it was not easy, but you chose to not stay in victimhood. You chose to heal. You chose to learn. You chose to watch and be vigilant, be discerning, and to become a warrior. And being a warrior isn't about always being angry and closed off. It's about feeling these emotions and learning from them. Okay, so Earth Guide, your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. So in order to feel love, you have to be able to feel all of the other emotions as well. You have to be able to surpass ego to feel those emotions, okay? So that's what I have for you today, Sagittarius. I hope it resonated, and I'll see you next time.